saying this straight up away, one of the most terrifying things I'd like to point out is when you have a fucking thing put right into your eye, like, ooh, like that. Like, I honestly, straight up know that. Whenever I've ever seen, and I guess it's because the problem, I've seen too many shows at the moment that have gouging out eyes at the moment, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, it's just, just thinking about, like, gouging out an eye over, like, something that petty, like, that is rough. So today's episode, as you can see, like, very feeling like a lot of these episodes, especially for, like, Diamond and Unbreakable, is kind of going, like, the same route as well as, like, Part 3, where a lot of them feel like standalone episodic, but in their way, like, add something to the story. And this week, we get to focus on a certain little bastard, which is Toshikazu, like, Hazamanda. Like, I gotta say, for him and all that, I believe he had the same situation as the dude from last week, where he was, like, actually really big in the manga, and then he got considerably, like, short. And I remember it's like, him and the other dude was, like, that was a little bit weird, like, how both of them turned really small after that. And, like, one of the most funniest parts is when he's talking about his stand, where it says legit in letters in the anime, surface, and then it will try and tell you in the actual, like, English, like, subtitles, it's show off. And then the character is going, surface! Like, I know it's gonna get old very quickly, me mentioning this every week, but it is utterly funny, and it's like, people that really knew about how many bands, like, he fitted in, Araki tried to fit in as much as possible. Like, it is utterly hilarious, and this is the part especially, it's like, come on, let's see how many times can they try and, like, not get a sue on them. It's like, please don't sue us. Like, so I absolutely love it. And this one was probably one of the more unique stands, as, you know, they've been hearing, like, from what they heard from the main, like, yo, there's a situation right now where there's another stand user, and it's this guy right now, like, Toshikazu, and, like, people said, you know, he had a fight with his friend, and, like, suddenly his friend decided to gouge out his own eye. He's like, oh, but by the time I woke up again, well, suddenly I was looking at my right eye on the floor and my left eye, and I'm like, yeah, it's just like, that is disgusting. It's like, and the entire episode is kind of like Koichi and him trying to find him, and ending up breaking into his locker and finding out he has a creepy puppet, and Josuke touches this, and this is what activates his stand's ability, where it's like, if anyone touches this puppet or has anything, you actually become the puppet itself. It has the same thing. It's able to, like, mimicry, like, has the same voice, able to do this, and one of the creepiest things is that it's able to, like, force movement as well with synchronization. So the whole thing of gouging out the eye, and especially when you saw Josuke, like, digging it, like, he was forcing, like, digging it into his own face, I was like, that is goddamn fucking scary as hell. Like, Jesus Christ, that, like, I do not want to mess with that thing at all, or mess with the guy that's using the stand. And Koichi, like, he even uses the bitch slap Koichi like that, and he went for a fucking window in a door and shit, and I'm like, good job Josuke healed him by that time, like, of the broken bones he already gave him. And that, like, Koichi, even at, like, last minute, using, like, you know, like, his stand to, like, make it sound like a splashing sound, like his eye blew up so the guy wouldn't go, like, he was cocky, he's like, ha 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 ha, and I'm gonna, like, use, like, this Josuke over here to call, like, Jotaro so I could stab him and kill him too. It's like, wow, this guy's a dickhead. It's clearly showed that they've got multiple of these stand motherfuckers here to, like, actually mess up with these guys. I'm like, yeah, you pieces of shit. And it pretty much ends up becoming more like a race at the end, where it's like, who can get to Jotaro first to explain the situation, the amount of bullshit. It's like, this is how creepy, like, Surface is. The stand is so creepy that it can memorize, like, how your entire hand panel looks, and, like, Josuke's like, yeah, it memorizes my fingerprints and everything. It's like, you know, like, humans are known, like, they don't look at their face every day and, like, all the time, like, but, like, we look at our hands more than anything than our faces, and it's like, yeah, I know what my hands are like. Just seeing that was like, yeesh. And, like, this guy was such a soggy piece of shit, because he was like, he's got this, like, clown, like, Josuke walking around him. Josuke is literally getting all the ladies, they're like, oh, giving him love letter, and he's like, yo, I tried this once with, like, a girl I liked, and then found out she was kind of a bit of a bitch in her attitude. I'm like, wow, like, you was really gonna, like, get your, like, fucking, like, puppet turn into that. And it's like, wow, that's really kind of shitty and kind of disgusting in a way, actually, because you know what he was trying to do with that. I mean, they managed to overcome this guy at the end, using some really clever stuff by, like, throwing a glass of shot at him, revealing that it was the actual bottle. He tried to bounce, they try to like catch up with Jotaro to kill him, like, and then they use like the actual like Koichi uses his stand to make it sound like there's a train coming, so they're like, oh shit, we got to take the long way around, like, let's go around there, and it's like, no, it's just my stand. They're like, see you later, fuck you, it's like that. They're just like, I love that part, like, even like getting these guys that he was like pissed off earlier, it's like, yeah, we're gonna beat the shit out of you. I love that stuff. I absolutely love. I would say I like Koichi's episode more than this one, especially in the manga. I was like, it's a good. I like it, but it was like I preferred the last dude that we had with the lock. Like, I kind of preferred that one than to this one as well with Surface. But it's still a really good episode either way. So they were adding in, like, if I remember, they were adding in a couple of scenes though. Like, I remember like Red Hot Chili Pepper being there with the stand like behind them. I don't remember that being in there. And also as well, you can clearly see that there's some like certain thing going on with that woman and all that. And people wondering, it's like, oh, trust me, she, like, that's the next episode that we're going to be dealing into. So I'm very much looking forward to Yukako, since that was in the preview. So look forward to that. Honestly, it was fine. It was a really good episode. I really liked it. Like I said though, I don't think it's as good as the Lock episode, because that was more giving on to Koichi, get a little bit more character development to him. I felt like this one had more comedy to it though, like in a way, but then as well, very gory, because I'm telling you, I'm tired of seeing eye gouging recently in like shows and everything. I'm tired of seeing that. Like, I don't want, like, what, I don't know if I could do that. Like, I love my eyeballs too much. Like, I don't know if I would rather sacrifice fingers or like toes. Yeah, sure, fine, have a toe, I don't care, like that. But it's like, no, I like, eyesight is something important. I think I can live out without toes. Like fingers, I don't know. I like playing a lot of League of Legends. Like, it's just that choice when you gotta go. It's like, if you had to give up something though, it's like, would you give up your a hand for an eyeball? Would you give up like a foot? Like, it's just that scary thought of it. And it's like, just imagine that. It's like you thought, like, you know, you see like just you there, someone completely copied, and then they start digging into your skin and torture. It's like, it's a rough stand, but even still, like, I love the episode. Even still, I think being fair with this one, I think it was a 7.5. Like, I think it was a good episode. I thought it was really funny, but I don't think it was as good as The Lock, and I don't think it was as good as the previous ones. But even for JoJo Bizarre Adventure standards, it's still a fantastic episode, and each week it's like, it brightens my day. Like I said once before in the Kabaneri, like, this and Kabaneri are my two favorite shows, and JoJo, I mean, I knew I was gonna love it. I knew from the start. Like, I read the manga, so it's like, it's like, this is my favorite part, and I think it always will be, even if I ever go back to part 5, I read from 6, 7, 8, like, it's just, I love it so much, just because of, like, this stuff and the interestingness of it, and the stands, and just so much to it. But I'm going to leave it all there today, though, folks. Thank you very much for watching. Always, you love JoJo as much as I do, especially part 4. You hit that like, you hit that subscribe. I will see you guys, though, next time.